removed her. So civil complaint, simply allegations, needs to be proven in a court of law. But if true, it could rise to the level of criminality. And, we'll see what happens or if the DA looks and investigates.
It's interesting because, obviously this civil suit was coming for a while.
Yep.
And there was some talk between Busby and Jay Z's lawyers. I think both Busby and Jay Z's lawyers are really...
Federal agents weren't aiming to uncover a scandal when they raided Diddy's properties, but what they stumbled upon has triggered a chain of events no one in Hollywood saw coming. Hidden among the typical signs of celebrity wealth, lavish decor, extravagant collections, and rooms filled with memorabilia was something far more disturbing. Hard drives, tapes, and digital files surfaced, containing footage with the potential to ruin some of the most prominent figures in the entertainment world. At the center of the storm are Jay Z and Beyoncé, the seemingly untouchable power couple, who now find themselves entangled in a scandal so explosive it could unravel the pristine image they've spent years constructing.
After that major documentary comes out on Diddy, then you're going to start to hear more and more about Jay Z and his nefarious.
The allegations are almost too wild to believe, but the whispers started immediately. Homeland Security agents reportedly unearthed compromising footage from Diddy's personal archives, footage that allegedly shows celebrities in situations so scandalous, so deeply incriminating, that it's hard to fathom how any of them will recover if the details go public. And the Carters, their names are being thrown around like confetti in the chaos of this unfolding drama. The word on the street is that Diddy, feeling betrayed by Jay Z and Beyoncé's lack of support during his mounting legal troubles, has decided to take everyone down with him. And if the rumors are true, he's sitting on a treasure trove of receipts that could bring the entire industry to its knees. Imagine this, a private party hosted by Diddy, the kind of exclusive square only the most elite celebrities ever get invited to. The room is filled with the biggest names in music, film, and sports people who have spent decades building their brands, their legacies, their empires. But behind the velvet ropes, beyond the Instagram-friendly photo, something else is happening. These are not just parties. They're alleged to be orchestrated setups, meticulously designed environments where boundaries blur, inhibitions crumble, and every moment is captured on camera. And those cameras, they aren't just for memories, they're for leverage.
Yes.
Mr. Diddy, aka Mr. Love Nap.
No, Sean Carter.
Insiders are claiming that these infamous gatherings, now being dubbed freak-offs by those in the know, were more than your average celebrity back and all. They were traps. Attendees thought they were mingling with their peers in a safe private space. What they didn't know, or perhaps didn't want to know, was that every move, every whispered conversation, every questionable interaction was being recorded. And now those recordings are in the hands of federal authorities. The implications are staggering. While Diddy's motivations remain murky, one theory gaining traction is that this is his way of leveling the playing field. If he's going down, he's not going alone. Sources close to the investigation suggest that Diddy intentionally handed over incriminating material as part of a desperate bid to negotiate his own legal survival. And who better to target than Jay Z and Beyoncé, the golden couple who, depending on who you ask, either distanced themselves from Diddy when the heat turned up or actively worked against him behind the scenes. The betrayal cuts deep, and Diddy's alleged revenge strategy is as calculated as it is ruthless.
If that's part of the indictment, that's somewhat like a blackmail. He was blackmailing people to be in the freak-offs. So that's federal. That could be that's a federal charge. He can't blackmail people to say, yo, listen here, you did it once and you're gonna do it again. That ain't gonna make it with the government.
Adding to the chaos is the resurfacing of an old yet unresolved narrative. Jaguar Wright, the outspoken industry whistleblower, has long hinted at the dark underbelly of Hollywood's most exclusive circles. She's accused the Carters of being complicit in and beneficiaries of a toxic culture that thrives on power plays and blackmail. Her claims, once dismissed as the rantings of a disgruntled outsider, are now being revisited with fresh urgency. And with Diddy's tapes reportedly backing up some of her accusations, the narrative is spiraling out of control. It's not just about the parties. The allegations go deeper, pointing to a network of manipulation and exploitation that spans decades. Some of the footage reportedly implicates multiple A-listers in scenarios that could lead to serious legal consequences. not to mention the kind of reputational ruin that no PR machine could ever fix. And yet the Carters have remained eerily silent. No statements, no denials, no carefully crafted social media posts addressing the rumors. Their legal team, however, has been anything but quiet.
As far as, is he going to turn people in? Is he going to cooperate? If the federal government wants him to cooperate and they're going to cut his time, because right now he's looking at 15 to life. With all the charges he has to, he won't get out till 70 years old. He about 70. That's when they start talking about letting him come to a house.
Beyoncé's lawyers have reportedly been working overtime issuing cease and desist letters to media outlets, pressuring platforms to scrub interviews and threatening anyone who dares to amplify the more damning allegations. It's a classic defensive move, but in this case, it seems to have had the opposite effect. The more they try to silence the story, the louder it gets. And the internet, it's in full meltdown mode. Fans and critics alike are dissecting every move, every word, every moment of conspicuous silence from the Carters. The question on everyone's lips, if they're innocent, why aren't they speaking out? And then there's the chilling detail that has everyone on edge, the involvement of minors. While the specifics remain unconfirmed, the mere suggestion has sent shockwaves through both Hollywood and the general public. Allegations of underage attendees being lured, manipulated, and compromised at these so-called parties are the kind of claims that could lead to criminal charges, not just for Diddy, but for anyone who is present and complicit. And if the Carters were there, as some sources claim, their silence could be interpreted as something far more sinister than mere damage control.
I have to take responsibility for what he did as an individual. Sean is the one who pulled that gun out. Sean is the one who shot. So he has to take responsibility.
The raid on Diddy's properties has also reignited questions about Kim Porter, his late ex-partner, and the mother of 3 of his children. Before her untimely passing, Porter was reportedly working on a tell-all book that would have exposed some of the industry's darkest secrets. According to those close to her, she knew too much. Now with Diddy's tapes allegedly matching some of the claims she hinted at before her demise, the circumstances surrounding her passing are being scrutinized like never before. Was she silenced? And if so, who else is at risk now that the tapes are out in the open? Meanwhile, Beyoncé's mother, Tina Knowles, has been dragged into the fray, albeit indirectly. A social media mishap involving Tina liking a comment about the allegations against Jay Z raised eyebrows and fueled speculation about where her loyalties lie. Though Tina later claimed her account was hacked, the damage was already done. The internet, ever hungry for drama, seized on the moment as further proof that the cracks in the Carter empire are starting to show.
Jay Z got his by his sister-in-law on camera. What's her name? Solange. You got it. The feds ain't step in and do nothing. The feds don't care about you getting your.
The most damning blow may come not from the court of public opinion, but from the legal system itself. Attorneys representing alleged victims are reportedly preparing to file lawsuits that could name not just Diddy, but also the Carters and other high-profile attendees of these infamous gatherings. The evidence, if it exists, could transform this from a tabloid scandal into a courtroom drama with stakes that go far beyond reputations. And as more alleged victims step forward, the narrative is shifting from one of celebrity gossip to one of systemic abuse and accountability. Yet even as the walls close and Jay Z and Beyoncé are playing their cards close to the chest, their strategy, if you can call it that, appears to be one of calculated inaction. But is it a sign of confidence or fear? Are they relying on their wealth, influence, and connections to shield them from the fallout? Or are they, as some have suggested, preparing for a battle so intense that they can't afford to make a single misstep? Are
scared of him. I think they more so, they don't want him to embarrass their reputation and things that they've been known for. You understand? I think that.
Here's where things take an even darker turn. Whisperers are circulating that some of the footage may already be leaking onto the dark web. Private forums and underground networks are allegedly buzzing with screenshots and clips that, if authenticated, would not only confirm some of the most shocking allegations, but also ensure that these tapes live on forever, beyond the reach of lawyers or PR teams. For the Carters, the stakes are no longer just about avoiding legal consequences. They're about preserving a legacy that has taken decades to build. But with every passing day, it seems that legacy is slipping further and further out of their control. And if you thought the whisperers couldn't get any darker, just wait, because now the focus has shifted to the victims, those who allegedly found themselves caught in the tangled web of these elite gatherings. And the stories they're starting to share are nothing short of horrifying. One alleged victim, whose legal team has already submitted a detailed filing, claims she was lured to one of these events under the guise of a career opportunity. She believed she was auditioning for a role in a music video, an offer that came directly from a well-known industry insider with ties to both Diddy and Jay Z. But instead of a legitimate opportunity, she says she walked into a nightmare.
This morning, rap mogul Jay Z is denying allegations he assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was assaulted by both